The avoidant carries a secret they rarely verbalize, but live with constantly. They know they will eventually leave. Not because you are not good enough, not because the relationship is not valuable, but because something within their psychological architecture compels them to create distance from anything that begins to matter too much. They enter relationships with this knowledge already present, a quiet certainty that lives beneath whatever feelings they develop, whatever genuine connection forms, whatever genuine desire for permanence occasionally surfaces. They know they will leave because they always leave, because the pattern has repeated enough times to feel like destiny rather than choice, because they have not yet done the work that would allow them to stay. The preemptive grief they carry into every connection. The avoidant begins mourning relationships before they end. From the earliest stages of connection, part of their mind is already preparing for the inevitable departure. They hold back emotionally, not just out of fear, but out of a form of advanced self-protection. They do not fully invest because they already know they will eventually withdraw that investment. They do not allow themselves to love completely because they are already anticipating the moment when that love will become unbearable and they will have to run from it. This preemptive grief shapes everything about how they engage in relationships. They are simultaneously present and already gone. They give you part of themselves while keeping the other part in a state of perpetual readiness to leave. The tragedy is that this knowledge of their own pattern does not inspire them to change it. It simply becomes the water they swim in. The inevitable conclusion they are always quietly riding toward. They see the departure before you do. The avoidant can identify the specific moment when they will leave long before it arrives. They feel the relationship deepening toward a threshold they have crossed before, a point of intimacy so close that their nervous system demands exit. They recognize the warning signs of their own deactivation beginning, the restlessness that precedes withdrawal, the sudden amplification of your flaws, the manufactured reasons why this relationship specifically cannot work. They see all of this approaching like weather, recognizable because they have watched it arrive before. And yet, knowing it is coming does not allow them to stop it. The knowledge simply gives them more time to dread what they cannot prevent, more opportunity to feel guilt about what they know they will eventually do. They care about you, they value the connection, and they already know they will destroy it. This awareness is its own particular form of suffering. They leave not because of you, but despite you. The most painful truth the avoidant carries is that their departure is not about you. You can be perfect. You can be patient and secure, and exactly what they claimed to want. You can handle their patterns with grace and provide a level of safety they have never experienced. And they will still eventually leave, not because you failed or because the relationship failed, but because their nervous system will reach its tolerance threshold for intimacy, regardless of how skillfully you navigate it. They will leave someone wonderful, someone truly suited to them, someone who could have helped them heal, and they know this before it happens. They know that the next person they fumble might be the last person capable of holding space for their complexity, and this knowledge is devastating because it reveals that they are not a victim of circumstance or incompatibility. They are a person who destroys love, predictably and repeatedly, and part of them is aware of this truth, even as they refuse to fully confront it. The choice. They keep choosing without choosing it. The avoidant would insist they do not choose to leave. They would say it happens to them, that the feelings of being overwhelmed or suffocated or trapped are not voluntary, that they would stay if they could. And there is truth in this. The deactivation is not a conscious decision made in full awareness, but it is also not the unavoidable fate they claim. Somewhere between conscious choice and compulsive pattern exists the space where change is possible, where therapeutic work could interrupt the cycle, where the knowledge that they will leave could become motivation to address why rather than acceptance of what. The avoidant knows they will always leave, but what they do with that knowledge is where agency lives. Most choose to live with the knowledge without acting on it. They continue leaving people who deserved to be stayed for, continue breaking connections that could have healed them, continue knowing and not changing in equal measure. The knowing without changing is perhaps the most heartbreaking aspect of avoidant attachment. They can see exactly what they are doing and still be unable or unwilling to stop.